Hello traders, let's take a look at the Dow first. This is the weekly pivot that we hit yesterday, a retest of this hammer, and at the moment we've still got 3 hours of trading, so anything can happen here. But at the moment all the little pullbacks are bought. So if we close up here and we can close above here, this level tomorrow, then we're in for another shift up. But the jury is out at the moment. Obviously, we've just got to wait and see how we close. But initially, markets have shrugged off the bears yesterday and pulled this right up. On the back of that is a strong dollar. This is the US dollar yen. Straight off the market's closed, a lot of the yen pairs threw in hammers. So not a lot to be got from European and US traders, but the Asian traders had a bull. This is a pullback to 150 if we see it. We are high RSI, but this is just stepping up. Okay, so we have got a lot of resistance up here at 101.40. If we break that, then we could go to 102.50. Okay, this is a very bullish chart. All the yen pairs have done incredibly well. This is the pound yen. Put in a reversal bar on a 60-minute chart and just blew through it earlier on today. So this 158 was bought 3 days up back in the last week. This turned out to be a bull flag because we've broken that high and then it's sitting up here. We could still go further. We've got, if that pulls back to 162.50, we could still go back up here. Obviously, you will be buying higher. That is a high RSI. Euro yen is suitably high as well. Stuck in a big box at the moment, so pound yen is definitely the better one, although that is not as extended. But you're always better off getting in on a nice trending one rather than a box. Could well be a flag, in which case if you get a pullback to 135.50, 135, then that is certainly worth a good probability trade. I've nibbled I've got a long position in this one, a small long position in this one, because it's still not quite doing it. But if it's Aussie US dollar. If we can close above here as the Asian session starts and get a good close, that puts us on, gives us a nice hammer-like bar on a key fib level, or key pivot level, because this is one of the few dollar pairs that isn't holding up. So we've had a nice couple of waves here. We've got head and shoulder set up here. And now we are still very, very weak. We're just testing the water with a small position. The reason why I take a small position, it's called a marker lot. It fixes me into the chart, into the emotion of actually having a trade in the chart without having the exposure. So if it works, and if we look at the 6-minute chart, you'll see what I'm looking at. So we've had a new low close above, and now we're just dipping back down again. Obviously, if we break that, then I'm out. My stop's under here, and then I'll let it go to 127 extension. But if we can conjure up some support, then I think this could see a reversal, because I think the gold is about to reverse. I think this is potentially a W pattern. So it's broken this low, come down to weekly S3 and got bought. If we can start to hold this 1245 area here, I think this can push up. Now, if that's so, because if you look at the daily, we're likely to end up with a hammer. let's put the fibs on this whole big move as well. So this is the 50% around 1300 mark. The 1150 is the bottom of the fib zone. I don't think we're likely to get there, although anything can happen. This is a key level of resistance. If we close above 1250, a nice big round number, I think that can start to recover. Hence the reason why I am looking at the Aussie US to see if that can do something for me. In the meantime, the pound Aussie dollar is just on a tear. Let me tidy this chart up for you. An absolute tear. There is the pattern. Put that down. So we started holding here at 166.50 back in third week in October. Pushed into the trend line, sold back, threw a hammer down, and then off we went to the races. We are now crashing into resistance. So I think we will possibly see a pullback, although it is very, very strong. So it's expensive, it's very high. So if you're not in this, I would stand away, and if you close above there and start running, then we obviously need to buy a pullback. But 174 is a massive amount of support. So 174 is definitely an option if we close up there. But back end of the week, high RSI, it's not a great time to get positioned in that one. Okay, so oil. Been waiting for this. If you look at the 4-hour chart on this, 4-hour chart really picks off the. So we had a weekly pivot along here, and then today we had hammer, and then up we run straight into resistance and close to this weekly R1. So I would be a buyer of that support now. I would expect this to dip back and then start to head up to 97 and possibly on the way back to 100. But let's just see. This is a nice big box at the moment, and all we're doing is sitting on the box. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I do think once we had all these touches of this area here. So I would buy a pullback here with a stop under this level here to see if that can move up. Alright, so to summarize, I think gold is potentially reversing. So I'm sampling Aussie US. I think the oil is now ready to resume an uptrend. So I'm a buyer of 94.70 if I see it, 94.50. And let me think on the, I like the pound a lot, and that is worth 161.28 tomorrow if we see it, to get back into that one. The pound yen is very, very nice but very extended, so be careful. So the pound is just very, very strong, really in favour, and the euro is just, that's holding. I did try and short that earlier on. I just took it off for a break even plus a few points because I could just see it holding in the 60-minute chart, so I just left it. But crucial level, if we can't close above this, then we could just still drop out of this. That's all I've got for you, so I hope you have a good evening and happy trading.